Coming to you from inside the Student Center on the campus of Golden West College, it's the Chronic Tacos Rustlers Review. Of course, we're brought to you by Chronic Tacos, Huntington Beach at Terra. Make sure you stop by for a burrito today. This monster of a meal made with a 13-inch tortilla, customized however you want it. Rice, beans, toppings, whatever you want. You can also pick your protein. My favorite, the chicken. Also, they have the carne asada or the al pastor, all for just $6.99. They also have the sauteed or beer battered fish or shrimp available. And don't forget the Baja sauce. It is amazing. Chronic Tacos Huntington Beach at Terra, located on the Edinger side of the Terra Shopping Center, 7621 Edinger Avenue, next to the Corner Bakery Restaurant. Give them a call, 714-890-6100. That's Chronic Tacos Huntington Beach at Terra. Make sure you visit today. I am Rahshaun Haylock, joined as always by Rustlers head coach Nick Mitchell. And Coach, they always talk about basketball being a game of runs. Well, that's certainly what ended up happening on Saturday night at LaBar. Rustlers coming off of a 40-28 loss to Grossmont Saturday night. The opening kickoff, they muff it, you recover it. 16 seconds into the game, you're up 7-0. Then all of a sudden they roll off 27 straight. What's going through the mind of Nick Mitchell as this run of Grossmont is going on?
Well, how prepared are we to play tonight? And how good is this quarterback that we thought was pretty good, but is appearing to be a lot better than pretty good. He's a young man, the quarterback that we didn't see a lot of. He was injured,
banged
kind
up
of
a
in
little
and
bit.
out. We talked about that last week. What we did see of him was pretty good. Was nothing real earth-shattering, but he came to play. He was a tough kid, a physical kid, was making some throws that needed to be made very few errors throughout the night, and really was kind of a one-man show at times, keeping drives alive. Played really, really well, and he himself pretty much, for sure, that first half was outplaying us. And they did a couple different things that we did not prepare for, so we had to make some minor adjustments, which we did, which was fine. Got us on a couple deals, but, I thought we settled down after a little bit, after getting basically punched in the mouth a couple times, and really just kind of needed to see what they had, sit back down, go over it, make the adjustments, and then come back out and play football.
His elusiveness, I thought, was huge. There's so many times you guys got to him but just couldn't get him down. But you look at the numbers, Brad Hagel, of course, the Grossmont quarterback, it was kind of status quo, right? I mean, he had more incompletions than he had completions, but as you mentioned, he made those big throws. He was able to keep drives alive.
Yeah.
But how frustrating was that elusiveness of his? It seemed like he just wouldn't go down.
Yeah, it's funny. You go back and look at the statistics when we come back on Sundays, and it was something like they either went 3 and out or they put together a drive and scored. Very few times after he got a first down, did he not stop and get going. So there was something about, and when they did get things going, I mean, a lot of times it was him making a play on third down. We would bring the pressure. He would scramble around. A lot of times we were able to get to him, but never really a sack. And, I mean, we were coming at him all night long. He was excellent at reading, getting out of trouble, keeping a play alive, running their little scramble offense, and then finding an open receiver when they needed it. It was very frustrating because normally when we start bringing it on people, on third down, second and long, we can generally get to them. And we did a lot of times. We had a number of 3 and outs through the night, but it was those when we couldn't get those 3 and outs. I mean, they would turn that drive into a touchdown just about every time. And so it was something that we kind of had to deal with a little bit in previous games, a little bit with Palomar. That quarterback was pretty good at keeping plays alive. But ultimately, I mean, we had opportunities to get out of a couple drives. And they were just kind of, a few plays here and there can change it. We're about to go 3 and out again. It's 3rd and 20. We rough the punter, get an automatic first down. Then we get 2 other 15-yard penalties. We get 2 PIs on that series. So an additional 30 yards in penalties, and they end up scoring a touchdown. It's little things like that just kind of kill you through the night. A couple third downs that we had him flushed out of the pocket. He had nowhere to go, and somehow he just finds somebody, they needed 8 and they got 9. Just little things that we've been doing a good job of getting out of those situations in the past, and just really struggled to get out of those situations at night. But it was mainly because of number 4.
So you end up scoring right before the half, make it 27-14. You score 21 straight, and one of those touchdowns was from Vance to Angel Matute, 28-yard strike that got you within 6. And for Matute, that was his first career touchdown reception. And our Chronic Tacos fresh take of the week, you scored 21 in a row to end up taking a 28-27 lead in that fourth quarter. How confident are you at that point?
Oh, we felt good. We actually even felt good at halftime. I thought it was good for us to not that you want to be in that situation, but this is good. Let's see what we're made of here. Let's see what sort of adversity we can handle and come back from. And, we thought we kind of had we didn't feel too bad about what we were doing, going into halftime. It was just a matter of, executing, settling down, which we kind of felt we had at that point in time. We come out, we battle back, as I figured we would, able to take the lead in the fourth quarter. But just, you get in a situation where, it's a tight game, turnovers are a killer. And we had an issue with turnovers there in the fourth quarter. It was really, a big part of, us not being able to close out the game.
So they scored 12 straight to end the game. They win it 40-28. I thought it was a huge point because you talked about it before here, how there were games earlier in the season. You're like, how are we going to be able to muster the offense to be able to come from behind? You're able to come from behind. Did not hold on to the lead, though, but how much can you take that going forward, the fact that you were able to come from behind, you were able to regain the lead?
Oh, yeah. No, that's huge, too. And again, to kind of find out what we're made of, we either could have folded or we can, put some drives together, put some defensive stops together, and get right back into the game. So that we will be able to carry with us into the finale here with Fullerton. That's all, building of the offense right there, building of their esteem, of their, their self-image that, hey, we're never out of this. We're always going to be in the game right there. And generally, the defense is going to be able to keep them close in the game. Granted, we gave up 34 points on Saturday, but, team, we're not, we've been playing good defense, and at times we've been playing excellent defense. But we're not perfect, and we've lost some good players on defense. We've lost a lot of good players on defense. And so, guys have been really good with responding and stepping up as far as the next man up goes. But, we're surely, at a kind of a little disadvantage in some spots in what we were, early in the season, midway through the season. It's coming late in the season, and, it's just a little more smoke and mirrors now on that side.
So offense puts together its third straight 400-yard games. You talk about the maturation of the offense as they continue to evolve. But it's the 5 turnovers that, of course, I'm sure maybe had you up a little bit Saturday night and into Sunday morning. 21 points off of those turnovers for Grossmont. We always know that those turnovers are a killer.
Right. And I would say 28 because of the roughing the punter penalty. We're just about to get another 3 and out. We've been stopped. I think we had like 3 or 4 consecutive 3 and outs prior to that. We come out, we do it again, we rough the punter. Then we get 2 PIs on the. It's just kind of that drive spiraled out of control. But essentially, it almost was a turnover because we were getting the ball right back. We talked about it throughout the week. We know how the turnovers late in the game, have affected us in previous games. I thought we were, kind of away from that, but, all of a sudden out of nowhere. But we struggled through the night. It was kind of a weird night. It was pretty misty and moist. We had trouble just holding on to the ball. You know, we fumbled a couple balls. We were fortunate enough able to get back. And then obviously Vance had some issues with the grip, something of that nature, because, you know, at times he really wasn't close to the receivers. But, you know, it's just if it's not close, we just got to make sure it's not close to the other team as well. And, you know, unfortunately, they were able to come up with some key interceptions at the time, and obviously the pick six was difficult. So we're a good team, but we're not such a good team that, you know, we can lose a turnover battle 5-1. Matter of fact, I don't even think we got one on defense. The one turnover we had, I think, was the fumbled kickoff return to open up the game.
Yeah, that was the one fumble loss that they had.
Yeah. So, you know, we're not getting any turnovers on defense, and we're turning the ball over 5 times on offense. I mean, it's going to be hard to win those games.
Take us inside the quarterback room. What are those conversations going to be like with Vance and Coach Ship this week? Is it just a continuous film session? Is it one of those games where you burn the film and move on?
No, you know, it's always a work in progress. So we'll always figure out what we can build off of, what we need to do to get better at. You know, it's, you know, you do try to find out, you know, on some of those throws, you know, what went wrong, you know, what was the read, who were you throwing to, was there a mechanical issue, something with the football, you know, just try to clear it up so that obviously we want to try to correct the mistakes that we have so that we don't have those again. You know, fumbles are a little different. You know, I mean, we can work on fumbles, you know, work on ball security and all. The interceptions oftentimes, you know, I mean, it's just working on, you know, making sure it's the right read and that, you know, the quarterback's there, and that sometimes defensive player just makes a great play. But that wasn't really so much the case this time. Just kind of a funky little atmosphere out there with the moisture and everything. I think he just had some issues with the ball, with the grip and all.
Yeah, first time all season we actually got some traces of fall weather, and it took us all the way until November to get there. So Rustlers, third game over 400 yards, total offense, 2 receivers over 100 yards for the first time this season. Sheldon White had over 100 in that first half. For his efforts, he had game highs of 8 receptions and 135 yards. He's our Chronic Tacos player of the week, but the Rustlers, of course, fall to Grossmont 40-28 in the last regular season home game at LaBarge. So now it's on to Fullerton, and you go up against a team led by Jordan Hoy, the quarterback for the Hornets, who's likely the Southern Conference Player of the Year. He's over 64% completion percentage, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Very Chris D'Antremont-like numbers, also leading that team in rushing as well. Right. How much has he been keeping you up at night?
Yeah, he's going to, you know, fortunately we just played a quarterback somewhat like him as far as being able to keep drives alive and be very difficult to tackle. So it won't be new to us because we just played a similar type of quarterback. But what Hoy brings is a lot more speed and quickness to the position, strong arm. But as far as throwing, I mean, they're similar. What Hoy has is he has a lot better wide receivers to throw to than the Grossmont quarterback did. They're very, very talented throughout their offense, not just wide receiver, but running backs, tight ends, and a good offensive line. They have a new offensive coordinator for the first time in a long time, so they're doing some different stuff offensively as well. But they're putting up an unbelievable amount of points. I think they're averaging about 52 or so points a game. I mean, that's not like the high for the year. That's their average the year. So it's going to be quite a challenge. And so we're putting our best men on it to figure out what we can do to slow them down. Because it's a must-win game for us. So we have to be able to figure out what we can do to take advantage of some of the things that they do. And he's good. He's definitely easily one of the best ones we've seen, if not the best one. So we do have our work cut out for us, and we're a little thin in the secondary right now. But it's good to have Hunter Margain back, so at least the linebacking core is back to full strength. Hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of the defensive linemen back that we're missing, that we did not have this past game as well. Manasseh, teammate, was leading our team in tackles. He's done for the season, so he will not be back. But we're going to be doing some of the, basic stuff that we do. And, we won't differ too far from what, our game plan has been all year long. But we will be able to learn a few things off of playing Kegel with Grossmont, because he brought a lot of those same sort of characteristics as far as being a very mobile quarterback that can keep things going for an offense single-handedly.
He talks about putting some of his best men on the job. He's one of them, folks. Nick Mitchell, the head coach of your Golden West Rustlers. You look at this Fullerton offense and all of the major offensive statistical categories. They're either first or second in the Southern Conference in all of them. So definitely going to be a tough task on Saturday afternoon. And then you turn over to the defensive side of the ball. Justin Parcell, 7.5 sacks. Tyler Stepney, 5.5 sacks. Stepney's a guy who was kind of partly responsible for Kegel missing some games earlier this season. But one thing about Fullerton, it seems like every time the Rustlers play Fullerton, you and I talk, the one thing that sticks out is the depth, right? Normally they're, 2 deep, strong, at least at every position. I would imagine this group is similar to that.
Yeah, they're going to be able to roll in. Now, they're not rolling in 2 to 3 offensive lines like they have in the past as much. So they're down a little bit as far as that goes. But as far as skill position goes, they're loaded at running back, at wide receiver. They're really kind of just using the one tight end, although they have another one as well. But all are good football players. I mean, there is not a weak link out there. Normally, we can kind of tweak the defense a little bit to kind of overload what the team does better, where their strengths are, and then kind of sag off in some other spots. But you really can't do that with them because there are no soft spots with them. So we're going to have to play pretty straight up throughout the course of the night. We're going to have to challenge them. I mean, we cannot sit back there and just really kind of let them try and do their thing. That's not going to work out too well for the most part. But again, like I said, I mean, we're not going to do much of anything different than we have been. But we're going to have to, bring our A game. We're going to have to play better than we did consistently at Grossmont. We didn't play that bad. They got a few touchdowns on us. We, blew a coverage, got beat on a fade. A couple things like that, but that stuff happens from time to time. But the problem is we're gonna be put in those situations far more times. They run a lot of plays a game, a lot more than anybody else that we've had up until this point. Although Grossmont was running a lot of plays second half of the season, it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be. Survival of the fittest. We're pretty thin right now, and so it's a 1:00 game. It's going to be 80-something degrees up there, so we'll probably have to maybe bring the big shades and try to slow the game down a little bit, so our guys have a good chance to rest and kind of save themselves a little bit throughout the course of the game as it goes.
Saturday, 1 p.m. kickoff right here on SportsNetUSA.net. It'll be a battle of the booths as our friends who cover the Fullerton Hornets, Mark Palovich, Corey Nalen, will join us on the broadcast, or we'll join them, however you want to word it. So we'll bring that sort of a dual cast for you on Saturday. You talk about the 5 turnovers. You talk about the loss. The 3-game winning streak is snapped. All of that. Yet you still are able to control your own destiny here, being tied for first, 3-way tie for first in the National Southern Conference with yourself, Saddleback, and Fullerton.
Yeah, it's still kind of –
it's tough. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. But.
Yeah, no, we thought that we would be able to wrap up at least a co-championship this past Saturday. Obviously, that didn't happen. But because, of our only one loss and beating Saddleback, I mean, we're really in the driver's seat. We win, and not only do we win the conference, but we're the representative for the playoffs, as well. And so it's a lot, and I think that granted that Saddleback beats Coast, which they sure should, Fullerton's out either way to the playoffs because they lose the tiebreaker. If they beat us, they already lose the tiebreaker.
To Saddleback.
So there's really not a lot for them riding as far as playoffs, because they're pretty much out of the playoffs right now. I mean, they can hope that Coast could beat Saddleback, but don't really foresee that one happening. So, it's crazy, but it's still, and like I said, I mean, it's going to be a very tall order to get this done. But it's still something, I mean, after the crazy, up and down season that we've had, to still be able to play for not only a conference championship, but the spot in the playoffs with one game to go is fantastic. I mean, the guy, because the guys after that loss, this past Saturday, they were kind of that the season is over. No conference championship, no anything, because our record doesn't put us in a good position to even get a bowl game, much less playoffs. But we win, and there's that. I mean, we're the
that solves all of that.
That
solves all of that.
Yeah.
Who needs a bowl, right?
Right. Yeah. And it's man, we'll give it everything we've got on Saturday.
I'm sure there are a lot of coaches around Southern California, the state, that would sign up for that, to be in that type of position. If you poll coaches going back to August and fall camp and tell them this is the scenario, I'm sure there are more than none that will sign up for that particular scenario. So it'll be 1 p.m. on Saturday, Rustlers and the Hornets from your Belinda High School. We'll have it for you right here on sportsnetusa.net. Coach, thanks as always for the time. We appreciate it. That's your Rustlers head coach, Nick Mitchell. Coming up on the other side of the break, this Rustler defensive line has been tremendous all season long. We'll talk to one of the leaders of that fantastic bunch. Jamie Diaz will join us coming up here next on the Chronic Tacos Rustlers Review on sportsnetusa.net.
Hey guys, welcome to Chronic Tacos at Terra, Huntington Beach. My name is Caleb Walker. I'm the franchisee of this location. We've been here for over 5 years. Chronic Tacos has been around for 14 years. We got over 40 locations across the nation. Come on in. Taco Tuesday, $1.99 all day long.
Welcome back inside the Student Center here on the campus of Golden West College. Chronic Tacos Rustlers Review. Now, of course, we know it's Tuesday. Tuesday is the day for the Rustlers Review. Of course, we can't wait each and every week to get here to be able to talk to Coach Nick Mitchell and the exciting players. But Tuesday is also for tacos. And don't forget, Taco Tuesday at Chronic Tacos. They got some incredible deals, and you can go down there, get pretty much whatever you want. Any toppings, any protein. My favorite, as always, is the chicken. And it's not like those other joints that you go to where they charge you the extra for guacamole. No, you want guacamole on your taco, you get guacamole on your taco. No extra charge. And make sure you tell the fine folks down there at Chronic Tacos Huntington Beach at Bellaterre that we sent you from sportsnetusa.net. That's Chronic Tacos Huntington Beach at Bellaterre. Rahshaun Haylock here, joined by the fantastic defensive lineman for your Golden West Rustlers, Jamie Diaz. Jamie, thanks so much for coming in and joining us here today. Obviously, you guys coming off of a tough loss against Grossmont. What was that like Saturday night, knowing that you had an opportunity to clinch and slips right through your grasp? What was that locker room like after the game on Saturday?
I mean, every loss is tough, but this one hit a lot of the players because we really wanted to take this win so that we could secure the conference. And a lot of the players just were quiet after the game. It just didn't feel like the way we had felt before. And a lot of people took it to heart. Yeah.
So all is not lost, however. You still have an opportunity to control your own destiny coming up against Fullerton here on Saturday at 1 p.m. Jamie, 3 tackles, a tackle for loss in the loss against Grossmont, leading this Rustler defense in sacks with 5 and 9 tackles for loss. How have you been able to get into the backfield so much?
A lot of it just has to do with my coach. I mean, he's a real good coach, Coach Harrington. He after every game we always watch film. He always shows us what we have to get better on, and I keep that in mind and just focus on it throughout the game. Make sure that I get everything right and just play the best I can.
And this unit as a whole, how close are you, for one? And secondly, I know you talked about Coach Harrington. What has he been preaching to you guys week in and week out that allows you to be really one of the top defensive lines in the state?
I mean, as a whole, we're brothers. I mean, we all have a tight bond. We're always with each other here. And even after the games, we hang out, we go eat, we go talk about the game. And Coach Harrington he always preaches, we come together and we leave together no matter what happens. Just give it your all, leave it all on the field. And we go by it and we make sure to do it.
Now, one interesting thing about you is you played your prep career, your high school career at St. Paul out in Santa Fe Springs. And St. Paul, one of the most prestigious high school programs in Southern California. Marion Anschik, long-time head coach there for the Swordsmen. What was that like, playing at such a historic program like that?
Yeah, it was a good experience. I mean, I got coached by a lot of good coaches. I got to play a lot of good teams. Unfortunately, I had like 4 coaches in 3 years.
There's a lot of turnover there.
Yeah, there's a lot of turnovers, but I did get a good experience of all the tradition and how they ran things back then, and I liked it. I liked going there.
That fan base takes stuff seriously out there.
Yeah.
They definitely get after it. All right, now you ready to have some fun?
Sure.
All right. This is our segment we call First and 10 here on the Chronic Tacos Rustlers Review. 10 questions, just kind of random questions. You spit back, the best answer that you can give me. All right. First thing, nickname.
I don't really have a nickname.
You don't have a nickname?
I don't have a nickname.
Really?
Yeah.
People might have been scared to give you a nickname. I see you walking around campus, big fella like yourself. You're like, no, nothing at all. All right. Favorite sport growing up?
Football.
Always a football guy?
Football
Yeah.
guy.
Did you play anything else?
I played everything but soccer, pretty much. I played basketball, baseball, but football, I just stuck with it.
Well, you're always a defensive lineman?
I wasn't, actually. I think my freshman year of high school I played both. I played O-line and D-lineman.
Okay.
But in Pop Warner, I was mainly an O-lineman.
Mainly O-lineman?
Yeah.
Nice. I would ask you your favorite team, but you already answered it for me, right? The Silver and Black Attack.
Yeah.
Big win for you guys on Sunday night against the Broncos.
Yep.
Yeah. Favorite athlete, any sport?
Any sport. I got to go with Justin Tuck.
Justin Tuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Former Giant, former Raider,
Yeah.
also defensive lineman like yourself. What do you like about Tuck?
I just like him as a player. He's a real good player, and that's where I got my number from, 91.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. Late night snack.
Honestly, I just drink protein shakes.
Protein shakes. Okay. I couldn't tell. Favorite meal?
You mean like food or
Food. Yeah, food. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. You name it.
I love sushi.
Really?
Sushi, yeah. Sushi.
No kidding.
Favorite meal, favorite food.
Is there like a favorite roll in particular, or just kind of whatever they bring? me?
Whatever they bring.
Nice. Favorite movie?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a hard one. I'll go with Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
That's a good
Friday
movie.
Night Lights. Get it.
Yeah.
Permian. Booby
Yeah,
Miles.
Booby Miles.
Okay. Nice. Jersey number. You already told me about that. 91. You wear that for Justin Tuck. Pre-game ritual.
Pre-game ritual. I just headphones in, just focus on the game, think about what I got to do, and just get ready to go out there and do it.
It's kind of zone out.
Yeah, zone out.
And last one, celebrity crush.
Oof. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Tough to choose. a lot of them out there, right? A lot of them. All right. Well, think about it. If we have it before the end of the show, then I'll let you know.
Okay.
We had last week. Corey Garcia was on. He named one of the Jenner. One of the Jenner sisters. I forget which one he said. And then Quentin Conaway a couple weeks ago. This was funny. He said his girlfriend. He said, "Oh, she's a celebrity in my eyes."
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Now it's on to Fullerton, right? Jordan Hoy, their star quarterback there, probably going to be the player of the year in the Southern League. His numbers similar to Chris D'Antremont, who played here for the Rustlers a couple years ago. His ability to run and throw it. What are some of the challenges when you face a guy like that who's accurate in the throwing game, doesn't make very many mistakes, just 5 interceptions on the season, but also is a threat with his legs.
Just getting pressure on him and making sure we keep containment, especially because, like you said, he has the ability to use his legs and get out and create opportunities. So just make sure we get the pressure on him and hit him every chance we get. Make sure he knows we're coming.
How frustrating was it last week when so many times you guys were able to get to the Grossmont quarterback, Brad Cagle, and so many times he was just so slippery and was able to escape your grasp. How frustrating was that?
It was extremely frustrating knowing that we were there and he just gets to slip away. And he had great pocket pressure. Like, he knew when we were there. Even if he wasn't looking, he knew that we were coming, and he knew to step up and just get out of there. And it was extremely frustrating, but every time we just stuck our hand back down and tried to get him again. But
yeah, that's huge. A huge homage to Mr. Cagle, the fact that he was able to do that. That's big time. This is probably going to be maybe one of the best offensive lines you face this season. What's Coach Harrington been preaching so far? I know it's early in the week.
Yeah, just that we need to lock in, focus, know the task at hand, know what's on the line, know what we need to do, make sure we watch film, and just study our opponent, make sure we know if they come out in this, we need to attack it.
Attack it with all ferocity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Nice. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for stopping by. Got Celebrity Crush? You think of it yet?
Nah,
Still
no,
not. It's
no.
all good.
No,
Everybody doesn't have one. Special thanks, as always, to head coach Nick Mitchell for joining us. Big Jamie Diaz, number 91. You're going to see him wrecking havoc on Saturday. Rustlers get back after it after trying to wipe this bad taste out of their mouth. 1 p.m. They control their destiny against the Fullerton College Hornets. A battle of the booths. Join myself, Mark Palovich, Corey Nalen will give you the call. Mark and Corey, of course, the voices of Fullerton Hornets football. So it'll be a battle of the booths. We'll collide in the booth to bring you all the coverage coming up on Saturday, 1 p.m. right here on SportsNetUSA.net. Special thanks, as always, to folks here inside the Student Center, to the athletic department here at Golden West, and also to you at home. Ed Ford got demoted. He's running the camera today, and Van Voo manning the controls. Who knew? Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. This has been the Chronic Tacos Rustlers Review on SportsNetUSA.net.
It's Taco Tuesday. Chronic Tacos, Bella Terra in Huntington Beach. $1.99 get you a monster taco. Do not forget the Baja sauce. You're going to love it.